Hey, what's up? It's Jang again from ultimaterc.com, and I'm on the home stretch, or at least getting there, for the build of my Great Planes Yak 55. It's been an interesting process so far. A lot of learning, some mistakes made by me, some mistakes made by the manufacturer, and it's all a learning experience for me because, as I've said before, I am completely new to RC airplanes. It's time to mount the motor and the speed control. Well, the speed control is kind of hooked up but not really mounted yet. Here's what it comes with for a motor. It's a brushed motor, pretty powerful one, rebuildable, with a gearbox on it. And I don't have a brushed speed control. Well, I do have some brushed speed controls for cars, but they're kind of big. I could reduce them, take the case off, try to lighten them up a little bit. But instead, I think I'm just going to go with what I do have already prepared or already ready to run, which would be Outrunner brushless motor. I also have a speed control for that. Got both at the same time at hobbyists.com, dirt cheap. This guy is certainly going to be more powerful than the brushed motor setup. You don't want to run a gearbox with an Outrunner, but this guy has a mount that has the gearbox built into it. I don't want to take that apart, so I just picked up an equivalent thing from GWS. This is the motor mount for a what is it called? Slow stick. For a slow stick. You can't buy these individually from what I've seen. You can only buy them in a pack of 6. Again, it's dirt cheap. I don't remember the exact price, but I'm sure it was under 10 bucks or around 10 bucks for a pack of 6 of these things with hardware also. So I got those, and what's going to happen here is it's just going to slide right over that wooden spar. There's a motor mount. Beautiful. Only problem with this is that it's going to move the center of thrust a little bit. You can see comparing having your motor centered here and the prop coming off compared to on this one where it's up about half an inch or 5/8 of an inch, something like that, above the motor output shaft is where your prop is going to be. So that's definitely going to have an impact on the flight characteristics of the model. Hopefully I will be able to compensate for that, but again, it'll be another learning experience for me. But I'm going to go ahead and see about getting this hooked up. Might have to do a little bit of trimming, it looks like, but actually I might be able to turn these wires out. Yeah, that's going to work. And get this hooked up and see what it looks like. For any car guys watching this, just because you see a shaft coming out of a motor doesn't mean that that's where you attach things like a pinion gear or a prop. This is an Outrunner motor. It's actually the can that spins on this one. You actually attach your prop adapter to the back of the can. Outrunner means that the permanent magnets are on the outside rather than the inside. So it's kind of the opposite of a standard brushless motor that's used in the car and truck world. Okay, time for the latest challenge. This is going to be fun. This is what comes with the airplane, right? It's the motor with an output shaft. It also comes with one of these. This is called a prop saver adapter. What happens is you put this over the shaft. It's got a couple of flat spots on the shaft. You tighten down these screws. Now you have that. The propeller just fits right over that end, like so. Actually like that. And then you use rubber bands to secure the propeller. Rubber bands go around the outside of the propeller here, and then they attach onto these screws, top and bottom. And because this is a belly lander, doesn't have landing gear, it's very important to have a prop saver on here because once you land, because the nose is going to be right on the ground, the bottom of the propeller is highly likely, even if you're at 0 throttle, the bottom of the propeller is highly likely to hit the ground and then it's going to put a lot of strain on there, and with the rubber bands it's just going to pull right off. It's actually designed in failure, and it's intentional, so you can go fly again and you're not going to be breaking your fuselage in two or breaking the shaft or just shattering propellers left and right. And the problem is that this prop saver was never designed to work with the brushless motor that I have. Let me show you how the brushless motor that I have is designed to be hooked up. Okay, here's the motor. You can see the output end of it there, and it comes with an adapter that gets bolted on to the end. Got that bolted on, you put a spacer over it, just kind of covers the screw heads and provides the proper amount of back spacing. Then the propeller goes over that, right over the shaft. It's a standard size, and then they have a spinner included with the motor, and this just tightens down, and you tighten it all the way down, and you're done. Now you've got a beautiful, well, it would be bolted on, of course. You've got a beautiful little setup. The problem is there is no prop saver involved here. There's no easy way to connect a prop saver to this particular arrangement. For one thing, the shaft, even if I could convert things around, the shaft on this motor is 1/8 inch, and the motor saver, the prop saver, is designed to go over a shaft that is 3 millimeters. So, time to do a little bit of thinking, get a little bit of engineering rolling. I actually already have an idea worked out. I'm going to show you how this goes together. There you have it. I have a propeller attached to a motor. So this is definitely not perfect, but it is working. I do have a fallback plan if this doesn't work out in the end, but here's basically what happened. Remember how there was a shaft sticking out the back of the motor instead of the front? Now there's not anymore. See that? Well, as it turns out, the good folks who designed this motor added in an extra groove at the back side of this motor shaft all the way up towards the tip. So I moved the E-clip that had been mounted farther down, I moved that up to the tip, and then just slided the whole shaft straight through the motor so that it was sticking out the other side. On the other side, it was only attached using, focus, see right in there? That one little set screw. So that allowed me to have a shaft sticking out the correct side of the motor, the more convenient side of the motor. All this other stuff was then just kind of custom fitted in there. What I end up having here is a collar. This is the collar that actually came with the motor itself. It has the correct 1/8 inch inner diameter on it, and I just drilled another hole and tapped in from the opposite side. I was a little bit off, unfortunately. I have a decent drill press, but a really poor vise that doesn't really hold very well, so I'm not perfectly on center with the other side, but just got a couple of 3 millimeter screws, stuck those through, and then to create an adapter, I'm not going to pull this all the way off, but down at the end of the shaft, there's another collar that's actually smaller, has a 6 millimeter outside diameter, which was pretty much perfect for fitting the prop onto, and I beveled the edge of that, and that was actually a metric collar that had a 3 millimeter inner diameter, so I drilled that out to 1/8 inch, and then drilled in from the side, created a little spot to put a set screw in, had to mill the set screw down a little bit also, but as the end result, I now have a prop saver. I have the prop attached to this motor. If this ends up being too janky, if it doesn't balance properly, I can always fall back on just using the original prop saver, which I've just stuck into another prop here temporarily. That's the original prop saver, and I can just drill that out because it's 3mm inner diameter right now. I need 1/8 inch, so I can just drill that out, and hopefully I won't get it too far off center this time. It should be a lot easier with something that's already mostly drilled there. So with that, I've got this guy all set up now with the stock propeller that comes with the kit. It's a 10 by 4.7, 10 by 4.5, 10 by 4.5, so-called slow rotating, slow flyer style of prop. And I'm going to go ahead and mount this up, and also mount up my speed control semi-permanently. Probably use some Velcro or double-sided tape for that, and then this thing will be good to go.